Okay, we're going to look at questions 67 through 76 from section 11.6. These are these are questions where we're drawing one card randomly from a deck of cards. That's a 52 card deck of cards, just to be absolutely clear what we're talking about there. So they want us to find odds in favor and odds against several different things happening. Before you get too far into this video, if you're not solid on what odds are or how to figure out odds, watch the video called The Difference Between Probability and Odds, and that's going to explain to you how we're figuring out what these odds are. So for number 67, they're asking us for the odds in favor of drawing a heart. Okay, so for odds, we put successes on top and failures on the bottom. So successes. How many ways are there for me to draw a heart from a 52 card deck of cards? Well, there are 13 hearts, so there are 13 successes in that deck of cards. Now, when we did probability, we put that whole 52 cards down in our denominator, but we can't do that for odds. Odds doesn't say all of the possible things. Odds is the successes, the thing that we want to happen, drawing the heart, and every other thing, not drawing the heart. So what we have to do is take our 52 card deck, 52, and subtract those successes from it. And that gives us 39 in our denominator. So there are 13 hearts and 39 not hearts, and that is what the odds in favor of drawing a heart are. Now you can simplify this. I'm not going to simplify it though, because I definitely want you to see where these numbers are coming from. So there are 13 hearts and there are 39 not hearts. And what I mentioned in that video about explaining the difference between probability and odds is that if you add 13 and 39, these successes and these failures, you're going to get back that whole deck of cards. 39 plus 13 is 52. So if you add together the successes and the failures, you should get all of the possible outcomes. And that's going to be important to know for some other questions in the future, but it's also a good way to check yourself. If you're doing odds from a complete deck of cards and you have a numerator and denominator and add them together and don't get 52, you've probably done something wrong. So that's a good way to check. So 68, we want odds in favor of drawing a picture card. Okay, so we need picture card on top and not picture card on the bottom. Okay, how many picture cards are there? Well, we've got jacks, queens, and kings, and we have 4 each of those, right? We've got hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades, and we have 3 in each of those suits, so 3 times 4 is going to give us 12 picture cards. So if there are 12 picture cards, how many of the 52 cards are not picture cards? 52 minus 12 is 40. So we get 12 over 40. So 12 to 40 odds in favor of drawing a picture card. Okay, 69 in favor of drawing a red card. Okay, how many red cards are there in the deck? We have hearts and diamonds, 13 of each. 13 times 2 is 26 red cards. Now how about not red cards? Well, actually there are 26. There are 26 black cards in the deck. So our odds are 26 to 26 in favor of drawing a red card. And again, if you add 26 plus 26, you'd better get 52 back, because the number of successes plus the number of failures in that deck of cards has got to equal 52. We're going to go ahead and skip over number 70 because it just asks us the odds in favor of drawing a black card. That's going to be exactly the same as the odds in favor of drawing a red card. So let's go ahead and look at number 71. All right, so number 71, we are looking for odds against drawing a 9. Odds against just means the failures are on top and the successes are on bottom. So we need success on the bottom would be a 9, on top, not a 9. Okay, how many 9s are there in the deck of cards? Well, you've got your 9 of hearts, your 9 of diamonds, 9 of clubs, 9 of spades. That gives us 4 successes. How many cards in that deck are not a 9? Well, 52 cards minus 4 gives us 48. So our odds against drawing a 9 are 48 to 4. Again, that can be simplified, but you don't have to simplify it for the handwritten tests. So 48 to 4 are your odds against drawing a 9. Number 72 asks odds against drawing a 5. Well, that's going to be exactly the same because there are 4 5s and 48 not 5s in the deck. So let's do one more here. Actually, we can do a couple more. 73 odds against drawing a black king. Okay, so we need black king in the bottom and not black king. I can spell on top. So how many black kings are there in a deck of cards? Well, there are only 2. There's the king of clubs and the king of spades. So there are 2 successes. How many cards in that deck are not black kings? All of the rest of them. Probably don't need the calculator for this one. 52 minus 2 equals 50. So the odds are 50 to 2 against drawing a black king. 74 asks us about drawing a red jack. That's going to be exactly the same. And I think we will leave it at that. That's odds in favor and odds against drawing several different things from a deck of cards. Remember that we're talking about odds in favor, successes go on top and failures go on bottom. So in the case of drawing a heart, the number of hearts goes on top, the number of not hearts goes on the bottom, and when we're talking about odds against, our successes go on the bottom and our failures go on the top. So in this case, a success would be drawing a 9. There are 4 9s in the deck, and then the other 48 cards in the deck are not 9s, so that goes on top. And that is how we do odds for and against drawing specific cards from a 52 card deck.